How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Syracuse Aviation, and welcome back to another airport update of Syracuse Hancock International Airport. Today brings you the May 2022 update for Syracuse. There's quite a few things to get into today. There's a couple of diversion flights, and that's really it. There's not really a whole lot else. There was an equipment upgrade that we'll get into once we get to that aircraft. So let's get started over at Gate 1. Starting today's update for us, we have a Southwest Airlines 737-700 at Gate 1. This aircraft is in the Heart livery with split scimitars. Once again, it's at Gate 1 here. It'll be heading out to Baltimore Washington International Airport after arrival from Baltimore. We've been seeing a lot more 800s as of recent. As I've probably mentioned in previous updates, it's slowly been becoming more 737-800s, which is really nice to see. Freedom 1 actually dropped in a few days ago, as well as Maryland 1, so I would have included those in today's update, but I really do prefer using the standard liveries. I do like to throw specials in here every once in a while, but it's just not realistic to do every single month throwing in special liveries. So those we do often get special liveries, as does every other airport with Southwest. It's a pretty standard thing, so it's really nice to see that. But for today, as you can tell, just the Heart livery for us. Once again, we'll be making a flight to Baltimore. Next to that, at Gate 3, we have a JetBlue Airways Airbus A320 in the Spotlight tail. This aircraft will be heading down to Orlando today. This is filling in for an Embraer 190. So they've downgraded this to a 190. I don't know if it's because the A320 was more for winter months, but it is kind of interesting to see this. I would think Orlando would be popular enough for an A320, but it is what it is. Maybe it'll come back at some point. We were supposed to get the Blueprint E190, I think tomorrow at some point. It may have been today even, I don't know. I can't really remember, so I apologize for that. But today, once again, just the A320 in the Spotlight tail, which will head down to Orlando. Gate 5 is currently empty, but next to that at Gate 6, we have an American Eagle ERJ-145. This aircraft arrived in from Philadelphia and will be heading right back out to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is still going on the 145, not much else to say there. Here's one of the diversions I was talking about. This aircraft, the American 737-800, I don't know where it arrived in from. I've been trying to find it. I haven't really found anything, so I apologize for that. All I know is that it was heading out to JFK, and it did not have the winglets, or the logo winglets, so I apologize. This is all I really have at the moment. So just the American 737-800 with the standard winglets arrived in from who knows where and headed out to New York JFK. The reason this occurred is because the weather in the New York area was pretty bad, so they had to divert here, and then they held here for a little bit. I don't know exactly how long. Then they headed back down to JFK. So it was really cool to see that. I didn't see this one, but I did see another diversion we'll get into after we finish this terminal. We'll get the taxiing aircraft where that aircraft is included. Currently on pushback out of Gate 9, we have an American Eagle E175 with enhanced winglets. This aircraft will be making a flight out to Chicago O'Hare after an arrival from Chicago O'Hare. Chicago has still been on the 175, as you know, all of these other flights. They've been pretty consistent for the most part, and same goes for Chicago O'Hare. So it's very nice to see it on the 175. It'd be cool to see some 319s or something float in here at some point. Unfortunately, I think it's kind of unrealistic. Maybe at some point in the next couple of years, as the airport continues to grow, we'll see some more, larger aircraft start to trickle in. I don't know. It'd be really nice to see that. But for now, we have the 175, which once again will head out to Chicago. Gate 10 currently is empty. And next to that at Gate 11 is an Allegiant A319 in the new livery with fence tips, of course. This aircraft is currently getting bags on and will head out to Nashville. I apologize for the cruddy view from before, but here's a better shot of the Allegiant A319. Gate 12, as of now, is empty. Here's the other diversion I was talking about. This is the Delta Airlines Boeing 737-900. As for the American 738, same goes for this one. I don't know where it arrived in from. I tried to look, but I couldn't find anything, so I apologize once again. All I know is that it was heading out to New York JFK as well. Once again, the weather was bad, so it did divert here to Syracuse to stay for a little bit till the weather was good enough for it to head back out to New York JFK. Now, this one I actually saw fly right over me. I was in kind of the Fayetteville, Manlius area near Syracuse, outside, and I heard a plane fly over, so of course I looked up and I saw a Delta 737-900. This wasn't something I'm accustomed to seeing around here, so I figured I'd look at Flight Radar 24. I assumed it was a diversion or an equipment upgrade or something, which we do have one in this update, but this was indeed a diversion. All I saw, once again, as I said, it was heading out to New York JFK, and that's all I was able to tell. All the flights the day of this update took off out of runway 15, which is pretty cool. That's a really awesome departure. I was only on 15 once ever for a commercial flight. I did fly GA out of runway 15 when 28 was closed, but they actually did use 1.5 as the wind direction was more in favor of runway 1.5 that day, so this took off out of 1.5, that's why I was able to see it fly over me. So very cool there to see this Delta 737-900 make its way into Syracuse. Shortly ahead of the Delta 739, also taxiing out for departure on runway 15, is this Delta Connection CRJ-900. This aircraft will also be making a flight out to New York JFK. Now this is a scheduled flight, this isn't a diversion of course. This is what we've been getting from New York JFK, so once again, Delta CRJ-900, Delta Connection rather, CRJ-900 heading out to New York JFK. At gate 23 today, we have a Delta Airlines Airbus A321. As I was saying, we did have an equipment upgrade in this airport update, so this is that equipment upgrade. So the Delta A321 arrived in from Atlanta and will be heading right back out to Atlanta. I don't know what this was for, if it was because they had higher passenger capacity on this flight that they needed a larger aircraft, or if it was just by chance or whatever. I don't know how that stuff works, so I'd like to learn more about that, so I apologize for not really having a whole lot of information about this in this update, but I figured it'd be really cool to include this, also because Atlanta's still on the A320. I don't have any A320s, and I didn't want to use the A319 because those were just a spring break type of thing. So today's update, just the A321, still looking really nice here. Again, not a regular service here, just slightly bigger than the normal A320 that we typically get. Kind of going back in the opposite direction I typically go for Syracuse updates, we have a Delta Connection CRJ-900 once again here. This aircraft will head out to Detroit. Detroit has still been CRJ-200, 700s, and 900s, but it's been slowly increasing to mostly 900s, which is very nice to see. And next to that is the last CRJ-900, which will head out to New York LaGuardia. Closing out today's Syracuse update for us at gate 20, we have a Frontier Airlines Airbus A320 with sharklets with Griswold the bear on the tail. I would like to get more Frontier aircraft, as I've said in the past. Now, NG Models has actually announced a new A320 family. This includes the A319, A320, and reworked A321 mold for their line of models, so I'm hoping that we'll see more Frontiers in the future. I really do think they are coming, so I hope to expand my Frontier fleet, but for now we're sticking with the A320 with sharklets, which is still a really nice model. Just gets a little bit repetitive seeing Griswold, but it still looks really nice nevertheless. So this aircraft, once again at gate 20, arrived in from Raleigh-Durham, and we'll be heading right back out to Raleigh-Durham. Honestly, the loads on this flight are awful. I don't know who from Syracuse is going to Raleigh. Well, obviously there's some people, but it just this flight doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, because Raleigh is still a not huge, but it's still a pretty good sized airport. But Syracuse isn't. I just don't think that the two airports mix very well to have a non-stop flight. I think something from maybe like Rochester to Syracuse to Raleigh-Durham would be better. The loads would be better, but the loads on this flight are just pitiful. So I figured it'd be nice to get this flight in an airport update while I can, because I don't know how much longer it's going to last. I have a feeling they'll keep serving it, but you never know. With bad loads, they could discontinue the flight at any time. So I figured once again it'd be nice to get this in here. So once again, the Frontier A320 heading out to Raleigh-Durham. So that will do it for today's Syracuse update. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. There's a lot of interesting stuff here, so I hope you guys enjoyed all the diversions, equipment upgrades, and such, and all the information. I've been trying to include more information as I learn more about the flights here at Syracuse, so I hope you guys are appreciating that and taking note of some of the interesting things here. So really cool update today, lots of interesting stuff, so I hope you guys enjoyed it once again. If you did, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, leave me a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.